chord. So tonight we are going to celebrate the long night moon. And to do that, we're going to rest. We are going to invite the darkness. And with that, we're going to really focus on creating and cultivating a safe space within ourselves so that we can sit in that darkness and whatever discomfort or insight arises in that space. And we're going to do something where we're going to do a combination of movement, but very gentle movement, mudra. So there will be hand gestures that I will guide you through. Mantra, so we'll do some chanting. You're always welcome to hum if you don't like the chanting. And visualization. So while we're doing all this, I will offer up some guided visualization as well that's going to guide us through the elements. So earth, water, fire, air, and space. And I was at home with my family over Thanksgiving break, and my dad and my sister were arguing with me that space was not an element. Well, maybe not in the West, it's not considered an element, but in Eastern thought, it is very much an element. So we will definitely have the space element as well. Um, and then we'll bring that all together and end with some really nice restorative postures where there will be kind of that stillness and that quiet. And I'll invite you to close your eyes and you can open up that space for the reflection and kind of sit in what we've cultivated. So that's what we've got planned for our last full moon yoga class. And we will go ahead and get started. Seated on your mat, find a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like to you. I'm going to go sit up. And so if you need to prop yourself up a little bit with a blanket so that your hips are slightly elevated to avoid any rounding in your low back, you can do that. And I want you to get started simply settling into your space. Taking some breaths in and out. Eyes open or closed, whatever's most comfortable for you. And cultivate some ujjayi breathing, breathing in and out through your nose with that very slight constriction in the back of your throat, creating the sound of the waves. Let it be gentle. As you inhale, feel like you're expanding. As you exhale, allow yourself to feel like you're very gently pushing out the air. Receiving as you breathe in, letting go as you breathe out. And welcome, Tina. I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute. You can find a comfortable seat and join us. We're just settling in right now and breathing. And feel free to add in any movement that feels natural, you feel called to in this moment, this long night full of darkness. As we continue to breathe with that very gentle ujjayi breathing, we are inviting some warmth into our system. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. We're going to start some circles from this seated position. So feel like you're very grounded and rooted through your sit bones. And then as we begin our circular motion, I want you to think about tracing the phases of the moon. So the first circle is very small. You're not really moving much, and you're kind of going back to center very quickly, is very small crescent. And then as you keep circling, you begin to wax and wane your moon. So eventually you come to more of like a half moon, coming around halfway and then forward. Again, stay really rooted and grounded through the sit bones. And then you continue to make your moon tracing a little bit wider, a little bit larger, a little bit longer, until eventually you've got a full moon, a full circle coming all the way around. And then as we switch directions, we've got that full circle, and we will start to shorten it a little bit. So now we're waning. I always get confused which one's which. Someday I'll figure it out. And then eventually you're coming back to your half moon. So maybe only about halfway, and then coming forward. And then a crescent or like a quarter until you come back to a point of stillness. We're back in our new moon, that darkness. And in this space, come back to your breath. Maybe feel a little heat that you developed in the hip, in the spine, the belly. Let the breath open up space in the chest and the heart. And now we'll add in some movement with the arms. So inhale, sweep the arms up overhead like you're tracing your big moon again. And exhale, sweep the arms back down. And let the hands come in front of you and join, or even cross in front of you. So you're doing a big sweep up and a big sweep down. And then again, inhale up. And this time, as you bring the arms down, bring them down behind you and see if you can sweep the hands behind you. Maybe if you can remember which hand crossed in front, you do the opposite one behind you. Let's go behind us one more time. Good. And then inhale up. And now exhale, fold forward and take your hands out in front of you and fold yourself forward as far forward as feels comfortable to you here. Stretching out through the spine, staying as rooted and connected to the sit bones as you can. And then you can stay here or slide your hands over to the side as far as it feels good to you. But this is a really nice side stretch. And see if you can breathe and expand into the sides of the body here. And then walk the hands over to the other side. Then walk the hands back to center and come all the way back up to seated again. Sweep the arms up overhead. And now coming into a side bend, one hand out to the side, lift up and over through your fingertips. Stay rooted through both sit bones. Maybe relax your ear down to your shoulder. Let your neck go. And then inhale all the way up and over to the other side at your own pace, your own breath. Breathing into the side of your body. And then inhale up to center, and now a twist, twisting over your right side, staying tall in your spine. Maybe gazing out over your shoulder if that feels comfortable in your neck. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, twist in the other direction. Being gentle with yourself here. And then come back to center and bring your arms up one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Then exhale, interlace the hands behind you at your low back. And stretch out the arms behind you as you lift up the heart. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Good, release the hands. You can shake that out if you like. And then rest the palms of the hands on the knees or the thighs and inhale some seated cat-cows. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, round the spine, around the shoulders, and moving at the pace of your own breath here. A couple more times. And then come back to center and take your legs out wide, as comfortable as it is for you. That's however wide they are, doesn't matter. And you can sit up, elevate if you need to elevate the hips a little bit. That's perfectly fine. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, start to fold forward into a wide-legged forward fold. And again, maybe you just walk the fingertips out in front of you a few inches. Maybe you come all the way down to the ground. Let yourself be where you are. Let yourself breathe where you are. Release the head and the neck. Breathe into the back. Inhale, come back up. And then take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Turn to face the left leg and fold forward over that left leg. Janu Sirsasana, one-legged forward fold. And you can grab hold of the foot, the ankle, the knee. Again, it doesn't matter how far you fold, just be where you are. And preparing our body for this long night's rest, this long winter season ahead of us. Inhale, come all the way up, switch sides, opposite leg out. The opposite foot in, lengthen as you turn to face the straightened leg and fold forward. So we can move and breathe to warm ourselves up during this cold season. We can also snuggle in, cozy up, and enjoy the rest aspects of our yoga practice. We can just go to sleep, dream, do our yoga nidra. And inhale, come all the way up. And then Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall wide. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale again. Option here to fold forward. You can place support underneath your knees if you need that support for the knees or the hips. Extend the arms out. You can keep the hands in and maybe press the thighs out with the elbows. Lots of options here. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then inhale all the way back up. And this is where we're going to transition into our practice of the elements. And so again, we are combining mudra with the hands, very tiny movement, mantra. So there will be some chanting, but again, if you're not comfortable with the chanting, then feel free to hum or just listen. And visualization. So I'll be guiding you through some visuals here. We're going to start in another wide-legged forward fold. And I'm going to pull myself up a little bit closer so that it's easier for you to see the mudra gestures. And because we will be in this wide-legged position, it might be a nice idea to elevate just a little bit. So I'm going to grab a blanket to sit on. And you can do a blanket, a bolster, a block, a pillow, anything that you have. All right. So I got my source text here to help us as we move through. A lot of source text, actually. So what we are going to do here with the legs out wide, and if you need to support the knees too, you can roll up some pillows or blankets and place them under the knees as well. So this is going to represent our earth element. We're going to start with the earth element, and the mudra that we're going to use here is the thumb to the ring finger. Prithvi mudra, this represents the earth element. So thumb and tip of ring finger come together to touch, and the rest of the fingers are just out wide. And you're going to place these hands on the ground right in front of your pubic bone so that you're connecting down into that earth element. And this might be also where you need to elevate your hips up a little bit more or adjust your position. Nice long spine here. So I want you to imagine that you are sitting on the riverbank as the sun begins to set. You can do this with your eyes closed, or maybe just a very gentle, like half close of the eyes so you can still see me a little bit, see what we're doing. But imagine in your mind that you're sitting on a riverbank, any river in the world, and the sun is setting, and your hands are touching the earth. And I want you to sense that the lower body feels really heavy and connected to the earth, that you feel grounded. Maybe the earth is almost damp beneath you on the bank of this river. I want you to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to twist. So this is a very gentle twist. It doesn't have to be intense. You're going to take your arm out and sweep your hand, keeping the hand in the mudra. Sweep it out around you and behind you. Maybe the hand touches the ground behind you. And as we do that, you're going to chant LAM, L as in llama, A, M, LAM. So it goes LAM, and then you'll inhale and lengthen. And as you exhale, you'll come back to center LAM again. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. LAM, and inhale and lengthen, and exhale, coming back. So take a deep breath in. LAM. LAM. You can follow the pace of your own breath here. Inhale, lengthen. LAM. Grounding through the sit bones, imagining you're on this riverbank, the sun is setting. LAM. Lengthen the spine, sit up nice and tall, and now we transition to the water element. So next, we are going to come into Baddha Konasana. So you'll bring the soles of your feet together. I find it helpful to actually guide my legs by grabbing underneath my knees, soles of the feet together. And if you need to prop up the knees, you can. I'm going to remain sitting on my blanket. Now we are going to be sitting in the actual river. So you're still on that riverbank. You're imagining yourself sitting in the river, but the water is extremely shallow. And for the sake of us feeling warm and comfy, the water is going to be really warm too. So you're sitting in this riverbank right on the edge. The sun is setting. The water's warm and it's just kind of lapping right up against you, just up to the area of the pubic bone. So you're perfectly safe and you still feel the heaviness of the sit bones sinking into the muddy depths of the bank of the river. And now we're going to move into a water mudra, and your index finger is going to come to your little finger is going to come to your thumb, and the other three fingers are going to spread wide. So pinky finger to thumb. And now you're going to place your hands right at the area of the pelvis. So they're touching the pelvic bowl. You're going to sit up nice and tall. And we're going to do the same exact movement. So it's going to be that same movement each time, the twist, very gentle. We don't need it to be intense because we are going to be doing a lot of twisting. And the chant here is VAM, V as in Virginia, AM, VAM. So take a big inhale. VAM. And I want you to imagine that your hands are rippling the water as you move the hands back. VAM. Inhale, lengthen, imagine the fingertips just skimming the tips of the water and ripples moving out into the river. Vam. Vam. We're still sitting in that riverbank. The water is just up to the pelvis. It's warm. We've rippled the water out with our fingertips as we touch the surface. We're moving into the fire element next. I want you to transition onto your knees in whatever is the most comfortable way for you to sit on your knees. So again, you could have a blanket underneath your heels. You could have a block underneath your hips and underneath the sit bones. We're moving into this fire element, and now we are using the index finger to the thumb, and the hands are going to be cupped. So the other three fingers are going to curl in slightly, and your index finger and thumb are together. And now your hands are going to rest against your navel, your belly button. This is the third chakra, where that's fire element. The elbows are soft. And now we're going to offer light to the river. And the sun has set now, and the moon is rising. And you're still sitting in that riverbank. The water, that warm, wonderful water, is still just lapping right up against the pelvis, very shallow, but you're sinking into the mud beneath you. The water is gently rippling. The moon is rising. And when we do our little motion here, I want you to imagine that you have little candle light, little candles, little flickering flames and cupped hands. And you're going to offer the light of the candle to the river. Ram is our chant, R as in radio, AM, Ram. Take a deep breath in. Ram. Offering your lighted candles to the river, watching them as they gently float into the middle of the river. Ram. Watching as the moonlight reflects onto the surface of the water and sense that the belly is warm and powerful. Ram. Ram. Offering our light in the darkness to match that illumination of the full moon. Moving now into the air element. You will lift up onto the knees. So now you'll stand up a little taller here. You're still on the knees. So now if you need to place something underneath the knees, so it's a little bit more comfortable. I've got my blanket under my knees. You can do that. And you're still imagining that you're on this riverbank and your knees are sinking into the mud. So there's lots of stability underneath you. That water is just up to the pelvis. It's warm, it's rippling. There's candles, light flickering all along the river. The moon is rising higher. We're moving into the air element now. We're going to bring our index finger to the base of the thumbs. So you're going to curl the tip of the index finger into the very base of your thumb. And do that on both hands. And then from there, the thumb tips are going to come to the middle and the ring finger. So the tips of the thumbs have the middle and ring finger. I'll show this to you here so you can kind of see how that is working. And the pinky finger stays out wide. There's a lot of stability in the knees. Now we're going to be at the level of the heart. And the mantra here is Yam, spelled like yam, but pronounced yam. Y is in yellow, A-M. I want you to feel that fire and that power of the belly. So there's a little bit of core engagement that's going to help you with the stability as we move from this space. Hands at heart, elbows heavy and wide, chest open. And now I want you to feel the breeze blowing, a gentle, almost warm breeze. We're in a tropical location. um, and it's blowing across this moonlit river, and the candle flames are flickering in your river as the lights are floating on the surface of the water. And we just feel really safe and grounded and comfortable. And that gentle breeze is such a welcome, like a sigh of relief. Take a deep breath in. Yum. Taking it all in, feeling that gentle breeze. Yum. To the muddy bank. Yum. Yum. Stay in this kneeling position. The hands are now going to come to the throat. We're at the space element. Your middle finger comes to the thumb, and all of the other fingers stretch wide as can be. You're going to take your fingers that are connected to the sides of your neck so that the other fingers that are spread wide can just very gently wrap around the back of your neck. The elbows are nice and wide here. And you can almost use the fingers to help guide and lengthen the back of the neck. The mantra here is hum, spelled like ham, H-A-M, but pronounced hum, almost like hum. And now we're in the riverbank. We're rooted into the mud. The water that's warm is up at the pelvis. We feel safe. The candlelight is flickering. The moonlit sky is beautiful. The stars are twinkling, reflecting the flickering candle flames in the water. The breeze is gently blowing. It feels comfortable. We're so grateful to be here. I want you to take your eyes up to the sky and start to see the stars twinkling in the dark night. And feel that breeze as it blows across the moonlit river. Take a deep breath in and then remove one hand. Inhale, lengthen. Imagine those stars twinkling. Other side. You can release your hands, release that mudra, and reach the arms up to the sky. The palms are open, the fingers are spread wide. We're gazing up at the stars with that moon, that whole bright moon above us. So grateful, so rooted to the earth, connected to all of the elements. Release your shoulders as much as you can. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Now we're doing Om, A-U-M, A-O, And as you exhale, I want you to bring the thumb tips and the pinky tips together to create almost a lotus type flower shape with the hands. So you're wide out. You're going to exhale Om, bring the fingertips together, and bring this lotus shape like a crown onto the top of your head. And as you do that, as we're chanting Om and exhaling, you're sitting all the way down onto your heels. Then we'll inhale and rise back up one more time, open up, and then do that again. So 2 rounds, Om. Take a big breath in, gaze up at the twinkling stars, the bright moon, a little bit more sip, one more sip of air. Om. You're wearing your lotus crown, connecting you to the moon, the stars, the sky. Inhale, back up onto the knees, reach the arms up. One last time, exhale. Om. And from here, reach the hands up to the sky one more time. And exhale, the river is gone. We're done with the visualization. Fold forward to the earth. Child's pose. You can take your hands straight out in front of you. Adjust your feet and your legs as you need to. And I want you to become aware of all the elemental qualities, the feet and the legs, the stability there, the fluidity in the hips, heat in the belly, movement in the heart, and spaciousness in the throat. Big breath in and out. And inhale. Slowly bring yourself back up to seated on your knees. And I want you to bring your hands together, the thumbs at third eye, namaste gesture. Draw the hands down the center line of the face so that the thumbs trace over the nose and the lips, down the chin, across the throat until the thumbs rest and dock up against the breastbone at the heart. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So now that we've balanced and activated all of these elemental qualities within us, we're going to move into the restorative portion of our class, starting with a restorative bridge pose. So there's several options here. I'm going to take a block. You could use a pillow or stack a couple folded blankets and lay down onto your back. Place the feet underneath the knees, the toes point straight forward. Maybe take a moment here just to feel your back on the ground. Make any little side to side movements if you need to. Windshield wiper the knees. If you need to release any tension in the low back. And then press the feet into the ground to lift the hips up and slide whatever prop you'd like underneath the hips so that the hips are resting on a block, bolster, blanket, pillow, whatever it is that you need. I actually put something under my head too. The ground's a little hard. And so set yourself up here. And let your pelvis fully release into the support of whatever it is that you have underneath you. Make any adjustments that you need. Let the chest and the shoulders and the whole upper body feel open here as the lower body rests. Now you also have the option, if it feels good to you, to straighten one leg, maybe the other leg. That might be too intense. But if that works for you, feels okay, then you can do that. You might prefer the stability of the feet on the earth. And now you open up your heart to the dark sky and the bright moon. And you bathe in the moonlight and you breathe. And you trust your foundation, your values, your people, yourself. Let yourself be open to change. Perhaps try on going with the flow. And connect your authenticity. What feels true to you? What are your passions? And cultivate compassion. You know, create space for courageous expression. Let yourself be guided by your intuition and trust that the universe will show you the way if you remain open, if you let go of control. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And if you have your hips on a prop, very gently press your feet into the ground, engage the core, squeeze the glutes to lift your hips up, remove the prop, and very slowly lower your spine down to the ground. Maybe again, windshield wiper the knees gently back and forth. And stay low to the ground as we transition into a restorative child's pose. You can roll over onto one side. Bring yourself up to your hands and your knees just enough so that you can grab a pillow or a bolster. Bring that right up in between the legs. Fold forward over your prop. If you don't have anything, you can always just do a child's pose. Maybe place a blanket under the forehead. And let the bolster or the blanket, the pillow, receive all of your weight. We'll move into our silence and stillness here with the only movement really coming from your breathing. You can gaze to one side or the other. Just have your chin on the bolster, whatever's most comfortable. And feel the breath expanding into your back. And let yourself be grounded from that sense of safety and rootedness. Explore the darkness. What shows up when you get still and you allow for silence. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And the legs up the wall is next. So again, stay as low to the ground as you can. If you have a wall nearby, you can scoot up against that wall. If you don't have a wall, you can always use a chair or a piece of furniture, or you can even simply lay on your back and place your legs up towards the sky. Sometimes it's nice to place a block or a pillow or a bolster or even a blanket underneath the hips. But if you have a wall, scoot yourself up against the wall with the side of your hip up against the wall first, and then pivot. The legs can rest up against the support of the wall or the furniture so that your sit bones are on a block or a bolster. And then again, let the wall hold, or the prop, the furniture, whatever it is, let it hold the weight of your legs. Let the earth hold the weight of your hips, your spine, your upper body. And let yourself really rest. I'll be here for about 5 minutes. So a good amount of time for us to enjoy the darkness, stillness, and the silence. And take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll over onto one side and slowly staying close to the ground, bring yourself back onto your mat into a final Shavasana, using any props you like to set yourself up in a comfortable space. Maybe putting something underneath your knees, underneath your head, covering yourself with a blanket so you can be nice and warm. We'll be here for a few minutes and give yourself permission to rest. Let yourself bask in the light of the full moon. And slowly start to deepen your breath. And gently invite movement back into your body. Roll over onto one side and bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Your hands together at heart center. Eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. And the fingertips touching just a little space in between the palms. And sitting up nice and tall. And the light and wisdom within me honors and acknowledges the light and wisdom within me. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Go ahead and stop the recording here.